Welcome to episode of No Script News. And there's aliens, guys. Aliens. Why is nobody freaking out over this? Why is nobody even freaking batting an eyelash over this? Aliens, guys. Our government, the Pentagon, the U.S. Navy has released 3 videos, has declassified 3 videos of UFOs captured by our pilot during exercises. UFOs over the United States, guys, over military bases, off the coast of the Pacific, the West Coast, guys, our backyard. UFOs, man, since 2007. That's the first video they declassified. But if you're to believe all these alien chasers, these conspiracy theorists, aliens have been here for far, far longer. Bob Lazar came out back in the day saying that he was studying alien technology. Archaeologist site that was found an alien spacecraft, and they've been studying it ever since, trying to reverse its technology with no luck. And he's been telling us about the existence of element 115, which these UFOs are depending on in order to travel and manipulate the gravity around them. A technology that, again, we are unable to harness ourselves. We're able to acknowledge that it's there and that it exists, but we're unable to replicate it and use it, which is all starting to make sense now. Aliens or UFOs can travel here, but we can't travel there. And supposedly, this element 115 is not native to our atmosphere, but it could be, or it is, or they're able to create it in their atmosphere. We're starting to make a lot more sense, because when you consider different planets have different atmospheres, and how ours is centrally located close enough to the sun where we can have water and life and plants and whatnot, but yet Mars is a little too close, so it's desolate, it's dry. But what if there was one maybe just a little bit in between? What would their atmosphere be? It would be a little bit more drier, a little bit more wetter, so maybe it would produce different type of elements. So it leads me to believe that wherever these aliens are coming from, they're centrally located across the sun, where they're able to harness and create this element now, or where it's native in their planet. And that's how they're able to use their technology, their propulsion system, to either time travel or just fly really fast. Because these videos, what they're showing is that these spacecraft, UFOs, are flying beyond our limits here. Now, if that's fast enough, flying over Mach 10, now that's not fast enough to travel through space and get here relatively in a reasonable amount of time. We've yet to scratch anything of their technology. The best analogy that I found was Joe Rogan, and he's a good person to listen to because on this subject, because he talks to all the conspiracy theories, the experts, the scientists, so you hear a lot of different opinions there, informed opinions, not like mine, not someone that just reads the news and reacts to it because it's crazy, man. He gave the analogy, or someone did on the show, might have been Tim Pool, how ants, when they're going somewhere and they're traveling, they know that there's an object, an obstacle in front of them, an existence of something in front of them. It may be a finger, it may be a piece of glass, it may be something that they may not understand, but they know that there is something there. Now that is probably the way that our primitive thinking compared to where the aliens are, that's probably the scale where we're at. We're the ants. We know that there's aliens. We know that UFOs. We know that there's this technology and they're able to move around in incredible speeds and manipulate gravity around them. But yet we're unable to comprehend it because they're just so far in between us. shit, that's pretty scary when you think about it, because you start thinking, what do they want? Are they curious to see what life is in our atmosphere, in our planet? And they look at us and they go, wow, these guys are able to accomplish so much with so little. They're able to fly across the moon strapping rockets to them. They're able to map the human genome and manipulate life on Earth with all these limited sources and means. Or maybe they're not friendly and they're not curious and they're actually here for recon to gauge what kind of military might we have here, and that's why they're being seen by our military sites off the west coast, man. And they traveled back home to let the fleet know that it's okay to scale the full frontal assault on mankind, and that's probably what's gonna happen. And now it's starting to make a little bit more sense, because Harry Reid, a former senator from Nevada, high-ranking member in the U.S. government, wants us to release all that we know about aliens and UFOs for the sake of national security. And when he says for the sake of national security, it starts to make me worry just a little bit, because that doesn't sound like they're too friendly if it's for the sake of our national security. If it feels for the sake of national interest, that's a different story. Because yes, let the American public know. I mean, we can handle it. Obviously, you let the people know that there's UFOs and nobody freaking cares about it. But even then, come on now, 2020 has taught us anything is that shit. We ain't got no other choice but to live. So we can handle it. Maybe the reason why the United States has always had a technological edge over every other country is because we have been trying to reverse engineer these alien technologies that we came across. But it still begs the question, has there never been any other crash landings in any other countries? Or have they just not been found yet? Or maybe they're here to recruit us. Or maybe they've always been here to recruit us. And that's why our government have always been in cahoot with each other, because their goal has been to control the people, all the people of the world, under one order, so that we can finally be accepted by our overlords, our true overlords, the aliens. And until then, until we finally achieve that one world order, they won't let us in on the big secret. Because it's one of those things where you don't talk about Fight Club. That's what's going on. You don't talk about Fight Club. Because the first rule about Fight Club, there is no Fight Club. That's what's going on. The government. New World Order. Aliens have always been here. They've been hiding in shit. Maybe. See, now it starts to get even deeper. Maybe these aliens are actually our elites, man. Maybe they're able to shapeshift. So we think of these oligarchs and people who pull the strings from behind the scenes as people, but they're actually the aliens, man. Aliens in people skin, trying to control us. But on a serious note, guys, like seriously, let's say the government does follow Harry Reid's lead in releasing all that they know about aliens. Like, what does this do to us as a people, as a species? Does this change us? The acknowledgement of aliens out there? Do we come closer together? Do we stop developing these products of war? No, I don't think so. And as I say that, a military helicopter flies across the sky. Now, the reason I don't think so is because our U.S. government has knowledge of these UFOs. They have a freaking spacecraft they've been studying for over 50 years. And they continue to make missiles and continue to wage war. So either they know that the aliens are not our friends, and that's why they're a big risk to national security. Otherwise, why continue to develop weapons? Why not just let everybody know this is what we have on aliens? Russia, China, look at this shit, guys. Let's get our act together. Fuck all the noise. Let's start producing what we need for our people. So I don't know. I really don't know, guys. Might be aliens out there. We might be invaded. We might not. They might be our friends. They might not. They might have came by and seen what we have and they're like, fuck that shit. This is a dumpster fire. Let's get out of here. What about religion? And how is that gonna vibe with the knowledge and existence of aliens? Maybe the Promethean theory was true. And in the beginning there was nothing. And then the aliens came and created Earth and gave it life. Created man in his image. And here we are. They're just coming back to check up on us, to see how we're doing. To see what we've become. And I'm gonna say they're a little disappointed. But what do I know? I'm just a guy who wakes up in the morning, drinks his coffee, looks on the internet, and tells you the news. That's gonna do it for this episode of No Script News. Remember, guys, if you're out there in the woods and you see those bright lights, run.